Joe, and here we are back again with another Minor Poison video, and I'm going to show you why Minor Poison is one of the best decks to play right now in this meta. Alright guys, so we're going to be going over a couple of replays. The first one's going to go against this guy right here. I can't pronounce his name, very complicated, looks like a French player. But here we're going against Golem. One of the harder matchups for sure is Golem, especially with minor wall breakers. So I kind of want to show you guys how you guys can beat it. So here he does go Golem first play. So anytime they go Golem first play, you always want to pressure the other side as much as you can. As you can see here, you want to do your best to kind of take the tower as much as possible. Hopefully the best thing is that he defends that side, but he doesn't this one, which got pretty scary. But if he does defend, it kind of helps with them minimizing the push. Here I get a nice little prince. A little too close to Tesla, but we are able to take out the Golem here. And the skeletons around the Night Witch helped a lot, just kind of kill the Night Witch down, which is awesome. Here I do get a nice hero knight on the minions. They are going to get a lot of damage here. So I do use the wall breaks to pull them back just to avoid some damage. Unfortunately, they didn't really do too much, actually. It kind of was like a waste of elixir, but it kind of worked out here in this matchup just because I was able to get some free damage on that side. So here I do play my miner on the pump just to go ahead and get it down right here. He does E-Wiz, and I do go ahead and just get a free poison on here just because, as you can see here, pretty much at the same elixir right now. So just being able to take out that pump is pretty awesome. And then... So yeah, so usually want to keep kind of their elixir. As you can see, he's up currently 3 elixir on me, which is a lot. But with this deck, you are able to get some pretty good positive trades here. Typically, if we were at the same elixir, I would have pressured other lane. But as you can see here, since I am down a bit of elixir, I need to go ahead and hunker down on defense here. So I place my Tesla there, and then I get a nice evil skeletons. You want to use your evil skeletons, in a good way here. That way you're able to kind of DPS down that Golem. Evil skeletons do a great job with that right there. As you can see, you're able to DPS down and get a nice poison on defense. Another thing too with this deck is don't be afraid to poison on defense. Poison on defense can save you a lot. As you can see right there, you get a super solid defense with pretty much no damage. So here I am going minor wall breakers, but he does play his pump on the other hand side. So the good thing is we're able to take his tower, which is awesome. Being able to be up, a tower is going to be pretty good just because, since he only has 45 seconds left, sometimes you can't really defend the Golem push, but you can distract long enough to win the game. So here, I just go ahead and take that tower, which is awesome. And then, unfortunately, I'm not able to get a poison on there. It's not really worth poisoning the pump at this point, just because I poisoned the pump. I'm going to be down too much elixir. He doesn't get a nice lightning here, but I do get the hero knight and the little prince here. Things do get a little scary. As you can see here, he has kind of a lot of stuff coming down. And the, Baby Dragon is doing a lot of work just because of that speed ability, but we are able to kind of, as you can see, like defend but also distract, which is one of the best things here. And we just got to keep holding on for a couple more seconds. As you can see here, we've been distracting long enough, and then we end up pulling off the win, guys. So, all right, guys, so here we are hopping into our second replay. We're going against a guy called Gustavo. Another reason why I love playing minor wall breakers is just because it's such a safe deck, especially against this guy's crazy mid-ladder deck, as you could call it, or like homemade deck. Here he does have a Vines mini P.E.K.K.A like Ghost and Golden Knight deck, so it's pretty much like a bridge spam deck, but a lot stronger. So this was a pretty fun matchup. I actually ended up winning being down a whole tower. So the comeback ability of the minor wall breakers deck is another big reason why. So he gets a nice Vines here, which is insane, and then I completely forget that mini P.E.K.K.A one shots my miner, which is crazy. So he does end up getting some pretty good damage, and I'm in a pretty bad spot here, as you can see. Usually you don't want to be down this much elixir, especially in the beginning of the matchup. You usually want to be in control of the match, but as you can see here, I do lose the plot, and he does get a nice Golden Knight ability there, but unfortunately, there's not really much I can do here. I was thinking about defending the tower, but at this point, it's pretty much just gone anyway, so there's nothing I can really do. So as you can see, we're pretty much in the beginning of the match, and I'm down to 1-0. Which really sucks. So here we are, just pushing again, trying to get some good damage here. I should have popped my little prince a little bit quicker and a little bit earlier, but I do fail that ability, so I ended up wasting the elixir lead I did have, which is all right though. Sometimes you can't really make the best plays, and here he does a really good play with the mini P.E.K.K.A and the Evo Ghost. Evo Ghost is still pretty strong, but as you can see here, not the best position to be in right now. I completely misplaced my little prince here, so a lot of mistakes are happening right now. But minor poison, although it is a high skill deck, you do have a lot of outplay ability, which is why I love this deck so much. So here we go ahead and just put the wall breakers, try to get some damage. I gotta play my Hero Knight down for that mini P.E.K.K.A. just because the mini P.E.K.K.A. is so strong. And this is the mini P.E.K.K.A. after the nerf. So can you believe how strong it was before the nerf? Crazy, man. So we are down 1-0, but we are kind of catching up with this guy right now. So it does feel good to be able to know that we are kind of getting a nice little lead here. He does get a nice zap on there on my wall breakers, and those minions are doing work. Moments like this is where I sometimes I do wish I had the road delivery, because the road delivery does so good against minions, but without it I can't really defend, you know, because I don't want to use my poison on defense from minions. So here we do end up taking the tower, which is awesome. So now we're in a pretty decent spot because we're only down, you know, like 300 damage right now, just because my king tower has taken so much damage. So the one thing you have to be really careful for in this deck especially is that the fact that he has divines. I didn't even know he had a executioner until like he pulled it out right now. So it kind of had me change my whole game plan here. I do get some nice evil skeletons. I do miss catching them on it, but he does zap, so it kind of gives me a nice little one elixir positive trade. Here we are able to get the executioner distracted by the miner, and we get a double wall break connection. So now we're up in damage, which is pretty crazy, considering the fact that we pretty much lost our whole tower in the first matchup. Here I do get a nice little pre-poison on the floor, just because typically he usually always backs his push up with some minions, but he doesn't play the minions there, which is really smart of him to do. I do try to get a minor wall breakers in the pocket, but Evo Ghost, it's so good against the wall breakers just because of the spawning with those extra little helpers that he has. Here I do get a nice poison just because I need to take everything out, because, you know, that's a big push to defend, you know. So here we are able to get a nice clean defense, though. We do have to use our evil wall breakers on defense. And another thing, a tip I guess I could say is don't be afraid to use your evil wall breakers on defense, you know. They do some pretty good splash damage, so if you need to use them, use them. You don't have to be greedy about when you can't use them, when you don't. So here we can have the evil skeleton surround. He does use the vines right there, but they ended up not working out so well just because, you know, we had the skeleton surround the mini P.E.K.K.A., which is great. So here we're in a pretty great position. As you can see, we're up like 500 damage. Here I just do get a poison on the tower. There's no point in pushing a miner in, just because if I push a miner, I'm pretty much giving him a free like ghost or whatever it is. He just plays minions there, which is pretty smart. Just because trying to get my minions again was going to be pretty difficult. He does get a really awesome executioner there. He gets a lot of damage on my tower. So I got to give him that play right there. That was a really good executioner play, just because he was able to get some pretty cheeky damage right there just by doing one execution in the pocket. But you are back in control once again. As you can see, he does pop his ability here, and I do miss my poison, which is pretty unfortunate. You know, missing my poison like that isn't the best play, but fortunately enough, it didn't cost us too much, and we are able to pull off a pretty insane win considering the circumstances, you know. And yeah, pretty solid win, guys. Like I said, amazing outplay potential. All right, guys, and here in this replay, we're going against a balloon cycle deck, or a balloon deck, I guess you could say. Not cycle deck, but yeah. So balloon has also been super popular lately. I guess maybe because it counts graveyard pretty well, but I have been facing a lot of balloon recently, and I haven't been the best on my win to loss ratio. But here I want to show you guys how to beat balloon with this minor poison deck. So the great thing is you have an amazing amount of air defense with the Little Prince and the Tesla. But you know, the bad thing is the Little Prince takes a little bit to charge up, and if they get a nice snowball or like zap on your Little Prince, then you know, it has to restart and it kind of gets a hit on the tower. So one thing you do have to be aware about, he does have Evo Musketeer. Evo Musketeer is a really cool card. That's because there's a lot of outplay potential that they can do with like the Evo Musketeer power shot stuff. But yeah, so here we are, guys, you know, playing pretty passive so far. He does have a roll, which I wasn't aware about. I do pop the ability, but I end up getting countered pretty hard, unfortunately. He does catch my miner because I keep putting my miner in the back. I think I pull back with the wall breakers. Yes, I do. Just to go ahead and cycle them. I knew they weren't going to get on the tower, but I just want to cycle to my Evo as quickly as possible. And then here he does go ahead and play his Hero Knight in the back, just as I do as well. I usually like to play into the Hero Knight that the other opponent plays. Or actually, I completely lied about it. He played at the bridge. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, so here he pops his ability here. But the great thing is they have the evil skeleton, so they're able to chip the Hero Knight down a lot quicker. So we're able to go ahead and get a nice trade on there without, you know, balloon hitting my tower. I was hoping that the evil skeletons on the right hand side were able to kind of get something going there, but unfortunately they did not. So I do play my wall breakers here on defense. I do take the one shot from the musketeer, but I think overall worked out pretty well. Getting that little principality on the left hand side was able to secure me a lot of damage, as you can see here. So we're up pretty much like 3,000 damage, which is pretty awesome, you know. In this position here, this is how you want to be. You want to be like an elite right here by the time double elixir hits, just because this deck is does so well in single elixir. But here I go ahead and pressure him some more. For some reason he's leaking a little bit, so I do end up getting connection. Maybe he got distracted by, you know, life or something, but that ended up helping us up really well. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to catch our wall breakers. But here he does an amazing hero or evo musketeer, as you can see right there. And then so I had my little prince in the back. Fortunately, I do make him use the roll delivery on the right hand side, because if he didn't, as you guys saw, he was hovering over the vines, so him using the vines would probably have taken my tower, to be honest. But here I go ahead and body block again with the evil skeletons, just because I know what he's going to do. He wants to go ahead and pop his hero knight ability, but since we went ahead and body block that, we're able to kind of go ahead and avoid him using that cheeky play right there, which is awesome. So anytime you have the evil skeletons, you always want to body block the bridge, so you're able to get, you know, a nice defense, and easier defense against the balloon coming down. But here we do a nice little minor poison log, and we win the game, man. So yeah, it's a pretty solid game so far. And then finally, we're gonna go against this guy called Kalen. He's playing minor rocket, so it's like a little bit of a minor mirror matchup, I guess you could say. Well, I guess it wouldn't be mirror just because in the same deck, but we'll get a nice little matchup here. The one thing that I will say about going against the minor is that with the hero knight, you're able to use the hero knight ability to go ahead and take off the minor off the tower, which works out pretty well. So in this match, my opponent does that really well. So right example right here, I play my minor in the back, he plays the hero knight ability and take my minor off the tower, but unfortunately I was able to get a connection on there. But him using that hero knight ability to take my minor off the tower ends up like almost winning him the game here. So that's one thing you guys should take away from this matchup, is to always use the hero knight ability if you can, especially in a minor matchup, just because, as you know, this is a minor poison deck, so a lot of the damage comes from just the minors getting on the tower, but using the hero knight ability is able to avoid that, kind of makes everything work out. So for example, in this instance right here, when he plays the minor, he does play it in a good position to where my hero knight is already out of the ability range, which is a pretty smart play by my opponent here. He is playing this really well, which I got to give to him. And then as you can see right there, once again, he does play his hero knight ability, and I play mine right there just to get the wall breakers on the tower, which I'm able to get. But as you can see, him getting my minor off there just works out really well for him, just because that chip damage I typically get just isn't there anymore, you know. So like I said, a good tip to take from my opponent here that he did do against me. So here we're just go ahead, I'm just playing it safe. As you can see, he is up 1 elixir on me, so not too bad. Things are going off pretty well right now. We're in a pretty good damage lead, so things are working out pretty well. Here I should have played my hero knight ability once again, but I do catch the minor, fortunately, so we get a nice little trade here. The one thing we do need to be careful of is the rocket. Once I went ahead and saw that he had the hero knight, the evil skeletons, and the roll delivery, that always means what's it called, a rocket minor. So there, once again, I should have played my minor in the back to avoid the hero knight ability. That's the one thing I wasn't really thinking about in this matchup. I wish I did a better job. Like here, for example, I should have played the hero knight ability to get the minor off my tower, but I wasn't really playing the best here, unfortunately. But we are able to kind of get a nice clean defense, get a nice little minor poison in the tower. So we are up like close to like 800 damage right now. But you know, minor rocket does get a lot of damage, which is pretty insane if you think about it. So yeah, so here, you know, things get pretty dicey, especially when they start playing a lot of Teslas on the floor, just because there's not much you can do. As you can see, he's stacking Teslas. Him stacking Teslas like that is going to make it pretty impossible. And then I play my minor in a really obvious spot. I should play it on the left-hand side, but he ends up catching my minor here. And he does a nice little minor rocket. But the sad thing is I can't really punch him right here, because he does a good job at doing that. And he gets a nice little evil roll delivery log here, killing my Evo wall breaks. But here I end up doing a nice little minor poison tower. But as you can see here already, like he already caught up to my to the damage pretty much. Like I was almost up 800 damage. Now I'm only up not as much as I was before. So here I try to get a nice little cheeky minor wall breaks on there, but fortunately he does get Teletami. He does play the Hero Knight ability once again to get the mine off my tower. So I could have had like an extra 500 damage right there, but him playing the ability right there helped a lot. He does go ahead and get a free rocket, and there's not much I can do here to pressure him because he's gonna play his Hero Knight ability once again, which is super annoying. I play mine again, but there's really no point in me playing mine just because, you know, what's it called? Pretty much a full counter. He plays the Evil Skeleton tier 2, so kind of a bad ability. Just because he does get a lot of nice positive trades against my deck, and especially since his deck is a lot cheaper than mine is. You know, but here he has a big mistake. He tries to go ahead and kit my Tesla. My Tesla goes underground, which is awesome. So I'm able to get a nice little minor poison on the tower once again. And some really good chip on there, which is pretty sweet. But as you guys see right here, like he's caught up with me. It was actually an advantage lead before I even got the minor point on the tower. So here he goes with another minor rock on the tower. I get a nice little minor poison on the tower on this side. Sorry, my brain's glitching right now. But we are kind of stacking up the pressure, and he goes for another delivery, but fortunately the Evil Skeletons do get on the tower and we get a nice win against that. But yeah, guys, so this is why I think Minor Poison is amazing, one of my favorite decks to play, and I hope you guys enjoy this video.